and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie and this is the week 17, April the 21st through the 27th weekly wrap up. Oh, also, day, what is the day? Day 28 of Veda. Video every day in April. As I said, it is day 28 of Veda, which has, can I just tell you, it has been a long month. I probably will never try and do something like this again. It has definitely cut into my reading schedule and all kinds of craziness. It's very time consuming. Even though I stayed up on it by pre-filming and, just doing editing and stuff like that, that's still, it's been an undertaking. 2 days left. We're almost there. And those videos are already in the can. I just have to edit them and get them out to you guys. But that's not what you're here for today. Today you're here for the weekly wrap up of the things that I read last week. So let's start. I started the week off reading Waking His Princess, a Sleeping Beauty romance. It is book number 2 in the Filthy Fairy Tale Romances by Parker Gray. Yes. I give this book 4 stars. I give it 5 Steam fans. Super hot. Super crazy. And like I said, it's a fairy tale, erotic fairy tale retelling. And this book follows Princess Aurora, who is in this modern take of the whole Sleeping Beauty thing, where she gets her finger pricked and then she falls asleep and he has to wake her up and things like that. This book, it does take a long time before that fairy tale sort of twist to finally come into play. We have Princess Aurora and Declan, who is the BFF to Princess Aurora's brother, and in this modern take, Princess Aurora is at a television show doing some royal, I guess you can say, press for the christening of her nephew, and she gets a hot mic. She ends up having a hot mic in the studio, and some things are found out about her, like how she's never had an orgasm or never had sex with anyone, but So Declan, the best friend, is like, hey, you know what? I'll help you out with that. Yeah. But they have a ball, and then, like I said, it takes a little while before the whole falling asleep part of the fairy tale to happen. And when it does, and then, we go from there. We have our happily ever after lots of sexy time. So, yeah. It's a very quick read, very steamy, and I really enjoyed it. The next book that I finished was Gluttony, which is the Elite 7, book number 5 by Kay Webster. Woo, this is a dark romance. I give it 5 stars. I give it 5 Steam fans. I read this as an arc, and oh, baby Jesus. Woo! I was in love with the Elite 7 before. Now I am completely obsessed because there is so much into this one. So this book follows Baxter, who is also known as God, and Zamira. God ends up getting his task for the Elite 7 very early into the book, and he completes his task, but there are possibly dire consequences that come with his task. In walks Zamora, who is fabulous, all in her own right. Being so young, she is a college student at the same college that they are all going to and stuff like that, and she gets wrapped up into the craziness. We find out that God has some serious issues, and even from the other books, I was like, okay, God is a character I want to get to know. I needed his book. I really wanted his book, like, super bad. And now that I have his book, I'm just like, I am such a God fan. I mean, I was feeling for him. He is a bad guy. I mean, like, legit bad guy. But then you find out in this book why he's bad, and you're just like, oh, you just have this, like, heart for him, and you feel for him. His issues are, like, crazy, and just, yes. So many yeses. I can't wait to get to the other books. We have Sloth coming next, and then we'll have Greed, and the little cliffhanger, because each one of the books have left us on, like, a bit of a cliffhanger. The cliffhanger for this book, I'm just like, I can't wait to find out what is going on in, I just can't wait. I'm that excited. I'm just like that excited about this. Yes, definitely. The next book that I read was Love My Way by Kate Sterrett, and I placed this book in contemporary. I still give it 5 humongous stars. I give it 2 Steam fans, since Steam fans were not instituted back in the day when I first read this. If you haven't figured it out, this is a reread for me. I listened to it on audiobook for Audiobookathon, and this book follows Emerson. She has a life journey that she needs to take. You find out that she is an artist that has put down her art supplies and stepped away from that world, but you don't know why she did it. And through this story, through this journey, you find out it's about grief, it's about death, it's about life, it's about finding love and being able to love yourself and letting go of the things that were in your past that you felt guilty for. It's just an all-around beautiful story. And once again, I was at work when I finished it, in tears, puffy eyes, all kinds of just emotions, because this book is just such a beautiful journey. It is so very beautiful. The next book that I read was The Austen Playbook by Lucy Parker, which is London's Celebrities number 4. I placed this in contemporary, possibly in rom-com. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to place it in because there's a couple aspects to this book, and we'll get to that in just a second. But I give this book 5 stars. I give it 2 Steam fans, and I read it as an ARC. Loved it. So we have Freddie, who is an actress and in London, and she is a stage actress. Well, she is finding that she wants to be an actress, but she doesn't want to be the type of actress that her father is sort of pushing her to. And through this, we find a play on the Jane Austen stories that most of us, some of us, because I haven't really read one completely. So even though I didn't know the source material for Jane Austen or how the stories play out or anything like that, I still really, really enjoyed this book because it was just so much fun. Freddie and Griff, who is a journalist who is more of a critiquer, critic. There we go. He is a critic and has given her very bad reviews in the past, saying that she's sort of lackluster and that she's just sort of playing on her family's fame and legacy and things like that. Well, come to find out, there is a mystery afoot. And some witty banter that goes back between Freddie and Griff, and then there is the mystery and all the play on Jane Austen, and I was here for it. I was so here for it. I didn't want to put it down. I listened to it on audiobook, and as well as it being an ARC, I was like, yes. So many yeses. Yes, 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 yes. There are so many fun pop culture references, modern day pop culture references mixed with the whole Jane Austen feel thing going on. And yeah, I loved it. I loved every single moment of it. Then the final book that I read last week was Trapping Her by Aurora Rose Reynolds, and I placed this in erotic PNR, or paranormal romance, short stories. I give this book 4.5 stars. I gave it 5 humongous Steam fans, and I listened to it on my podcast of Read Me Romance. Read Me Romance. And, oh my goodness, this book totally sets you up totally sets you up for there being more books in this world, and I'm here for it because they came right out the gate. So this book follows Isabel, who has a bit of a sort of unknown past right now, but she is in Scotland, I believe, and she gets a job where she has to, I believe, I kind of missed all that, why she was in Scotland at the castle, but she finds Cameron and they have this instant attraction, but they also have some other things that are going on. It's about vampires. Yeah, buddy. And like I said, it's super, super sexy, and it definitely starts you off into a new sort of world, and I am here for it. I'm looking forward to jumping into that. That's all I can pretty much say. All I remember is the sexiness and it's vampires, and yes. Yeah. So let's get on to the things that I am currently reading, because there are a lot. Oh my goodness. I am still reading Dragonfly in Amber by Diana Gabaldon. I listened to it, but it's a long book, and it's gonna finish. I'm gonna finish it when I finish it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I am also reading Method by Kate Stewart, which is about a method actor. It has been recently released. I received it as an ARC, and I'm working my way through it. I'm reading Beautiful March by Christy Pastori. I received this as an ARC as well. It will be releasing in the next couple days, so be on the lookout for that. I am also reading Promise You by Fabiola Francisco. This one I received as an ARC as well, and will be releasing in a few days, so make sure that you're keeping an eye out for that. I am also reading Her Perfect by Steffi Walls. This one releases in the middle of May, I believe. And I'm reading it as an ARC in physical copy because Steffi sent it to me. Thank you. Once again, so honored to get that in physical copy. And yes, so many yeses. And I am also listening to California Girls by Susan Mallory, which is for a project that I am working on. Whew. Yes, I'm reading a whole bunch of books at the same time. Don't at me on that one. So for Audiobookathon, I failed crazily. That was a readathon via audiobooks held from April the 15th through the 28th, and it had 7 challenges. Yep. I only completed like 3 out of the 7 or something like that. Let's go through. I'll let you know which ones I did and which ones I didn't. So, listening to a book for 30 minutes per day, I did complete that for week 1 and week 2, which was amazing. It helped out because I listened to Dragonfly and Amber for 30 minutes a day, and I'm still not done with it. Let's see. I also listened to my favorite book by reading Love My Way by Kate Sterrett, and that was a great re-listen, or listen for the first time, reread of that book, because it was beautiful and emotional, and I talked about it just a minute ago. And I also listened to a mixed media book, which was 2 of them, and the first one was Picture Perfect by Evangeline Anderson, as well as Trapping Her by Aurora Rose Reynolds, which were both from the podcast of Read Me Romance. So those are the challenge that I actually got done out of the 7. Yeah. So, failed miserably. I think this is like the first readathon that I actually like massively failed in, but it's all good. It's all good. So I did get some book mail this week, and I'm gonna talk about it. As I said earlier, I got a copy of Her Perfect by Steffi Walls, which was sent to me by Steffi, and I'm making my way through it so far. This is a book, although I was the master of concealing mine, but part of hiding was deception, and I'd become a viable Pinocchio. He was like 2 different people, Eli and Dr. Paxton. While I knew the latter would turn out to be an incredible teacher, the idea of Eli being more threw me for a loop. I couldn't separate the 2, and it seemed vastly inappropriate and strangely alluring. The practical side of me needed to win the war inside of my mind. I had to please the teacher, not the man. But once I'd crossed that line, there was no turning back for either of us. Oh, what? What? How could you not be interested in this book? Not to mention this cover is a fire. So much fire. It is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. And I went to my mailbox and I got a package from one of my favorite authors, who is Alethea Roman. I got the first book in the Tangled Web series or trilogy, which is Twisted, and I can't wait to jump into this. This releases in middle of May, and so good. I already know, because I love Alethea's dark side, and since she started adding sexy to her dark side, I'm just like, I'm here for it. So, for this one we have, the underworld of Chicago is far from forgiving. It's a world where knowledge means power, power money, and money everything. I paid the ultimate price to have it all. I gave my life. That doesn't mean I cease to exist, only to live. Going where the job takes me and living in the shadows with deadly accuracy, I utilize the skills inherent to me, not knowing from where they came, not recalling what I'd lost. And then it came back. Not it. Her. Laurel Carlson. I shouldn't want her, desire her, or need her. Yet with each meeting, I know she is exactly what I have to have. Laurel has the ability to do what I thought was impossible, to bring me back to life. My gut tells me that it's a deadly mistake to open my world to her, to show her my twisted existence. However, my body won't take no for an answer. I've made dangerous mistakes before. This time, will the price be too high? I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing, I'm sure. Can't wait to let you guys know my feelings on this and to jump into it. So, thank you again, Alethea, for sending this to me, and her PR team. Thank you very much. I can't wait to jump in. Well, that is all that I need to tell you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of the books that I have talked about. Does my description of the books make you want to go and read them? Because I always want to know if I make good recommendations. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form and a bell notification down there. Help me out, fill it out, and make sure you hit the notification so you can know when I do videos. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow.